In the previous section, we established why you would want to use Excel. In this section, we want to establish why you would want to make a dashboard in Excel or a data visualization in Excel. To answer that question, we should figure out what we mean by a dashboard first. So what I'm going to do is use known dashboard guru Stephen Few's definition, but I will note that not everyone agrees. A dashboard is a visual display of the most important information needed to achieve one or more objectives, consolidated and arranged on a single screen so the information can be monitored at a glance. Now, there's some important items I want to focus on. First, what I want to focus on is the most important information. And I want to give you some thoughts on that because many dashboards I've seen out in industry don't necessarily show the most important information. What they show is all information because what happens is the dashboard creator can't really decide what to put on there. So here I do agree with Stephen Few's definition. What goes on a dashboard should be the most important information. It should not be everything to everyone because when something tries to be everything, it becomes nothing. So it should be targeted and important to the type of dashboard and the information being shown. The next thing I really do agree with Stephen Few on is that dashboards need to be in one screen. So that presents some interesting challenges, doesn't it? Well, for one, it forces us to keep only the most important information. And I would ask for people who have seen dashboards that are separate, where the information is separated by tabs, to really wonder if that level of detail is required. If it is, it makes sense to keep it, but let's not do it just to do it. Let's try to consolidate and show things at a high level, because that's what dashboards are. So dashboards are really made up of several different items. The first is that they're made up of reports and data and tables. So these are just numbers. These are things being reported to the user. And one way to report things, or at least a way to report multiple things, are with charts and data visualization. So if dashboards exist at a high level, they need to communicate information quickly. Well, a way to communicate information quickly is through the use of data visualizations, because that information is processed quickly in our brains, more quickly than reading numbers on a screen. And finally, this is where the dashboard guru Stephen Few disagrees, but we will attempt to do anyway in this course as interactive elements. So in his view, dashboards are something that are monitored and they're not necessarily interactive. And I actually used to agree with that. That was really how I felt when I wrote dashboards for Excel. But over time, I've come to realize that people want more in their Excel dashboards because they have the ability to ask questions and to change things and use different interactivity to change the data visualization they're looking at. The challenge here is not to make a dashboard that's all interactive, because what happens, and what I have seen are dashboards covered in buttons where there's really only enough space left for a small chart. Dashboards are high level. They need to show a lot of information at once. So interactivity should be small and sufficient to drive understanding of the dashboard. Now here's an example that we are going to be making, and this is a dashboard showing the amount of tornadoes, or the frequency of tornadoes per year, and this is real data, from 1950 to 1994. Now you see my mouse is selected. There's a scroll bar there. As you change that scroll bar, it's going to change the highlighted year in question, and the information on the right, which breaks down the monthly tornado counts, is going to change with it. And there's also a top 10, which shows us really the worst years. And what we see is that many of them were recent. And in a business context, this would be important too, to know what the worst is, right? So often dashboards are designed to show the best. In this case, we want to show what's actionable. So we need to show the worst, but we should be thinking about that. Now, as I said, not everyone agrees on the exact definition of a dashboard. My friend Robert Mundigal, who writes for clearlyandsimply.com, so that's his website, and he's written a lot about Excel dashboards, made this point to me once. He said, call it tomato soup for all you want. We just want to make something that's interactive and informative for users. So I actually agree with that. And like I said, I used to be a hardliner on this. So we're not going to solve this debate, But what you can do is go to perceptualedge.com, that's Stephen Few's website, and read a lot of the stuff he has to say. Because even if you do agree or disagree, that voice that he has will really help you out, because it will help you think about dashboards, and it will help you really cut through shiny looking dashboard products that don't necessarily deliver, and help you remember that it's really about the numbers and the message and how to deliver to management the information they need to know quickly.